Hello students, welcome back. So now I will show you how to use case statement. So the table that I'll be using would be customers, orders and shipping, and I showed you in the previous session how I created these tables, and this is the relationship between these three tables. So let me just show you. So these are the commands I used. I dropped the table first, all three of them, in case if they existed. Then I recreated those tables. That was my customer table. This is my orders table. Then I recreated my shipping table. After that, I populated so I've inserted some records into those tables. That was my customers table. This is my orders table. I put some records in there. Then I put some records into the shipping table right here. Okay, so I covered this in the previous session. Now let's just focus on the case statement now. What case does it basically allows you to create another column, and it based on some case conditions. So suppose you want to create a column called order category. Okay, that's what you want to do. You want to create a column called order category, and if a customer, okay, if the amount of the order item is more than 200, then you want to give it a value, high value. Otherwise you want to give it a low value. That's what you want. So let's do that. So in this case, I'm selecting my order ID, amount. In this case, by the way, I'm doing everything in the only on one table, which is my orders table, and this is my case statement right here. So I'm saying case when my amount, okay, if the amount is more than 200, then high value. Otherwise it's going to be low value. And then you specify your end condition. So you have to specify case and end like this. So this is how your syntax for case and end works. Okay, and then you specify the name of the table right here. So let me just make some space so this way you can see. Okay, so let's just run this. Actually, let me just run the whole thing. Copy this whole thing, come over here and paste it. And let me just run this thing before this, okay, without this. So let me just comment these lines out. Okay, and the way you comment something out is you put hyphen hyphen. If you recall, you put hyphen hyphen. This is going to comment this line out. Hyphen hyphen, come over here down, hyphen hyphen, hyphen hyphen. All right, so when I run this, and let me just come or remove this comma too. Okay, now when I run this, it's gonna work just fine. It's gonna create order amount, okay, order ID, amount, order ID 2, this is the amount, order ID 3, this is the amount, right? Now I want to create uh this column, order category, and this particular column should be somewhere over here, and this column should have a high value or a low value depending on what the amount is. Okay, so let's do that. And there you go, you can see that it created a new column called order category. So this case statement is responsible for creating this new column. Now if the order amount is more than 200, it's going to call it high value. You can see that high value, this is low value, this is high value, low value, low value and high value. Okay, let's do the next one. Let's add another value. Maybe now I want to have three values. I don't want high value. Maybe I want high value, mid value and low value. You can do that too. So in this particular instance, everything is same as the previous one. The only difference is I'm just adding another clause over here. When amount is more than 100, then mid value. That's what I'm doing. I'm just adding this clause. Okay, so come over here, copy and paste it over here. And now you're going to see three values. Okay, high value, mid value, high value, low value, mid value. Okay, so you can see this column order category. Depending on if the amount is more than 200, it's going to be high value. If it is between 100 and 200, it's going to be mid value. Otherwise it's going to be low value. Suppose you want to add a shipping progress column, a label over there. Okay, so what you're doing is maybe you want to see all the orders. Okay, even if they have no shipping info. So in this case, I'm going to use left join. So what I'm doing, I'm creating a new column, and the new column is shipping progress. That's the new column I'm creating. Okay, in this new column, I'm going to have completed value if my shipping status is delivered. Otherwise, if the shipping status is shipped, then I'm going to say in transit. And otherwise, if let's say if this is not delivered or this is not shipped status, then I'm going to say pending. Okay, it could be a third default option. Okay, so in this particular instance, I'm actually having a join. I'm actually connecting my orders with shipping. Now if you'll go back to your schema right here, you can see that your orders table is connected to the shipping table using your order ID right here. Order ID from your orders is connected to the shipping table with order ID. Okay, so this is exactly what I'm doing over here. So I'm saying left join shippings S on O dot order ID, which is order dot ID from order table to shipping tables order ID. Okay, so let's just copy this and let's run this. And this, now you're going to see a new column called shipping progress. And the shipping progress will have in transit, completed, in transit, depending on which condition is satisfied. So for this one, for example, order ID 1 is phone. Let's just go verify order ID 1. Order ID 1, that would be this right here. Let's just move order ID 1. Okay, and this item, order ID 1 is right here. It is shipped. Okay, and you can see that order ID 1 has been shipped. All right, and so the shipping progress is in transit. So if it is shipped, it's going to be in transit. All right, great. Now let's say use case in group by to count customers by the city type. So maybe you want to create another column, call it region. So if a person lives in New York, or let's say if he lives in Chicago, you want to say east side. Otherwise, you want to say other side. Could be anything. So that's what I'm doing. I'm creating a new column called region. So in this case, I'm using case and I'm using when clause, and I'm just specifying this condition. If this condition is satisfied, then it's going to return east. Otherwise, it's going to return other region. Okay, so let's just copy this and let's run this. And there you go. You can see that east side, how many are there? Four. For other, there are two. So in this case, one interesting thing you'll notice is that I'm using group by clause over here. So in a group, basically, I'm just creating a new column called region, and then I'm grouping by region right here, and then I'm counting my customer count for each one of them. So on the east side, there are four customer counts. Okay, let's go to the next one. Case plus join. So in this case, let's say show orders with custom message and add a note if an order is over 200. Okay, so let's say I want to do something like this. I want, let me just come over here. Yeah, I want to create another column called promotion status. Now, if the order amount is more than 200, then I want to say eligible for the free gift. Otherwise, I'm going to say not eligible for free gift. That's what I want to do. Okay, so let's do that. So in this case, I'm using two tables. The two tables are your orders and customers. So nope, let me just select again. So I'm joining my orders with customer and I'm selecting order ID. I'm also printing out the customer name, also printing the amount. And if my amount is more than 200, then it's going to print this message. Otherwise, it's going to be this message right here. Okay, let's just come here. Let's run this. And there you go. So you can see that order ID 1, customer name is Wagner, amount is 250, and he is eligible for free gift because this order amount is more than 200. So see, eligible for free gift. So it created a new column called promotion status. That would be this right here. And this column will contain either this text or it's going to contain this text depending on whether this condition is satisfied or not. Okay, next one. Combine case with the aggregate function. So suppose somebody says, hey, show me the total order value for each customer and add a loyalty tier. So maybe they want to do something like this. So let's do that. So in this case, let me just move this guy over here. There you go. So I'm selecting my customer name. I'm actually adding all my total spend right here, and I'm creating a new column called loyalty tier. And if the amount, okay, if the amount is more than 500, then I'm going to give it a status gold. Otherwise, I'm going to if the amount is more than 300 and less than 500, then I'm going to give it a silver. Otherwise, I'm going to give it bronze. Okay. Then I'm connecting these tables, customers and orders, and I'm grouping by customer.name. Copy. Let's run this over here now. And there you go. So you can see that name, total spend, bronze, bronze, silver, silver. So depending on whether the amount is more than three is between if it's more than 500, it's going to be gold. If it's between 300 and 500, it's going to be silver. Otherwise, it's going to be bronze. And you can see that there is no gold over here. Nobody spent more than 500.